Welcome, I'm Robin. Welcome to yoga. Today we're going to do a short practice for better posture. You don't really need anything. If you have one yoga block, you can grab that, but if not, don't worry about it. And maybe a mat or doing this on some carpet. So when I was a child, I was slumped over very often, especially as I started to become a teenager. I didn't feel very good about myself, and this is kind of the way I walked. And my mom, I didn't live with her, but when she would come over, she would grab my shoulders and pull them back, and I was very annoyed by this. But I know that she was trying to get me to stand up tall and to be in my power. I just didn't get it as a child. It wasn't until I found yoga as a college student that I started to feel good about myself and have better posture. We have natural curves of the spine, so the neck curve goes in, it's concave, and then the thoracic spine comes out a little bit of kyphosis, and the low back is a little bit of a lordosis. I have an exaggerated kyphosis just naturally in my body, so I've been working on that in my postures. We all have something to work on in our bodies, but be proud of the body that you're in, and everybody's body is different. So we're going to start just standing at the top of our mat with either your big toes together and your heels slightly apart, or for more balance, have your feet about hip bone distance apart. Just notice your posture here. So you press down through your feet and lift up tall without sticking your chest out or your booty back. Just standing up nice and tall. Trying to stack, starting at the base with your ankles, your knees, your hips, all the way up to your shoulders, with your chin parallel to your mat and the crown of your head reaching up. So you're finding that length through the whole spine. Maybe closing your eyes or gazing at a point on the floor in front of you to find your focus, to stand tall, but also to soften, not locking out through the knees or holding a lot of tension in the jaw or the shoulders. Pulling your belly up and in, your Uddiyana Bandha, without making the low belly rigid. Feeling as if you can lift up through your pelvic floor muscles. As you pull your belly in towards your spine and completely exhale. And then inhale fully. And exhale completely. Nice smooth breaths, whatever you're capable of. Maybe breathing in and out through your nose. One more breath here. You can stay with your arms down by your sides, or you can take your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra this is called, to set an intention for this short practice. Or maybe a phrase, an affirmation, something like, I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. And if your hands are in prayer, release your hands. Put a soft bend in your knees. If your feet are together, step them a little bit wider. Take your hands to your hips and take some hip circles. So loosening up around the hips. And then switch. Good. And then with coming back to center with your knees still bent, take your hands to your thighs. Inhale, tilt your tailbone up. Lift your heart. Maybe look up, a standing cow pose. And then exhale, round your back. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. Again, inhale, open up the front body. Exhale, round. One more, inhale. And exhale, round and come all the way up, one vertebra at a time. Reach your arms up. Lower your right arm down, maybe to your hip. Take a side bend. Inhale, back to center, switch. Inhale, back to center. Open up through your arms, softening your shoulders, reaching your thumbs back behind you so you're externally rotating at the upper arm. Standing up tall or maybe slightly leaning back. Lifting up out of your pelvis, protecting your low back by keeping your core engaged. And then inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, take your hands back behind you like airplane wings. Your chest nice and open. Your palms facing forward. You could stay here or you can clasp your hands. Maybe look up. One more breath here. And then exhale, fold with the clasp or with your hands just out by your sides. And you can put a big bend in your knees here as you find this first forward fold. And shake out through your head. Taking those slow and steady breaths. So you find a nice stretch in the back body without forcing it. And then take your hands to your shins or the mat or blocks and take a half lift. Lengthen your spine, reaching the crown of your head forward and your tailbone back. Having that engagement in your belly. Noticing your back. Nice flat back, or even a little bit of a concave here at the back of the heart. And then exhale, fold again. Plant your hands down, step back to down dog. So again, you can have your knees really bent here. Your hands are shoulder distance apart, pressing into your hands, feeling that nice stretch through the arms, the armpits, your head nice and loose. As you widen through your sitting bones, and maybe you're bicycling your legs, bending and straightening each one. You can also take a little twist here, looking from under one shoulder to the other. Good. And perhaps finding some stillness, maybe keeping your knees bent. Or maybe you're able to straighten your legs, perhaps even lift up your toes, find that engagement in the front of the legs. So you find that same external rotation at the upper arm bones that we found when we were standing, rotating the triceps back towards
the legs towards the back of your mat. One more breath here. And then look to your hands and come to your knees. If you have a block, take your block, we're going to place it down on the lowest width, horizontal to your mat. And then step back into a forearm plank. So your palms can face down on the mat, or you can have the pinky side edges of your hands pressing down, and you can come with your knees up, or you can have your knees down. Hugging into the block if you have it, or imagining a block there to keep your forearms parallel to the long sides of your mat without your elbows winging out to the sides. Your head in line with your spine. Your feet can be all the way together, or they can be hip distance apart. Scooping in the belly. Feeling that engagement in the front body. One more breath here. And then if your knees are up, lower your knees, untuck your toes, lower your hips, Sphinx pose. You can move the block out of the way, or you can keep it there. And you can turn your palms down here if they were up, with your thumbs up. Still feeling that engagement through that low belly. Gently pressing your pubic bone down and pulling your heart forward. Wide through the collarbones. Breathing into the back of your heart space. If this is too much to be up this high, you can come down lower. And keep your gaze down at the mat, not cranking through your neck. Look over your right shoulder. Come back to center, look over your left shoulder. Come back to center, lower all the way down. You can make a pillow of your hands, stacking them one on top of the other, and rest your forehead for a moment, feeling the support of the earth. Releasing as much tension as you can around your body. Often we slump forward because we're spending a lot of time sitting, either working or doing schoolwork or whatever the case may be. We're doing a lot of abdominal work without strengthening the back body as well. So we're going to do some work on back strengthening now. Some more work. So release your arms forward. I'm going to scooch back so you can see me. So your arms are straight forward, just like they were for forearm plank, with your pinkies down and your thumbs up. Rolling your triceps down towards the mat. Scooping in that low belly. You'll lift your right leg up, lower it down. Lift your left leg up, extending it back, lower it down. Now your right arm lifts, your head lifts, lower it down. Your left arm lifts with your head and your shoulders, lower down. Now we're going to combine the arms and the legs. Your right arm lifts, your left leg lifts, lower down, exhale. Inhale, left arm, right leg, lower down. Keep alternating side to side. And if it's too much to do both at the same time, you can work on one at a time. You don't have to go at my pace. Just feel that engagement through the back body with that connection to your center. Trying to find a lot of length here. Not worrying if you're getting up very high. Moving with your breath, taking your time. Just notice if it's different on one side to the other. Accepting whatever is. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. You can make that pillow again for your head, or you can turn one cheek to a side and rest. And then bring your head back to center. This time take your arms out to the sides in a T position. Keeping your legs down. Inhale, lift your arms and your head and your shoulders up. Palms face down. Exhale down. Inhale up. Maybe your legs come up here. If it's too much to have your arms straight, you can goal post your arms. Exhale down. One more. Inhale, lift up. Maybe sweep your arms back behind you, airplane wings. My palms are facing the mat. My chest is nice and open, collarbone to collarbone. Lots of space around my neck, drawing my shoulders back and down. And breathing. You can clasp your hands here, or you can stick with the airplane wings. And you can lower your legs if that works better, or you can keep them up. 2 more breaths. And then exhale, release. Lower down, make that pillow again, or turn your head to the opposite side. Maybe wiggling your hips here. Two more breaths. Then find your way to child's pose. And come up to all fours. You can have your legs all the way together. And sit your hips back towards your heels. Your arms can be forward or down by your sides. Or you can have your legs, your knees as wide as the mat. And again, with your arms forward or by your sides.
If this position is not comfortable, you can try to take a rolled up towel and place it behind your knees just for some extra support and see how that feels. Or you can take some pillows underneath your torso here for some extra height, for some support. Two more breaths. And then walk your hands in if they're out or around if they're not. Come back to all fours. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, send your hips up and back, down dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Again, big breath in. And a big breath out. And walk your hands back towards your feet so you're going to the back of your mat. Take a half lift to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale your hands through your heart to your side. Notice if you're standing up a little bit taller. We're going to do one sun salutation here. Inhale, arms sweep up. Maybe look up at your fingers. Exhale, fold. Your arms could be wide or they could be through prayer. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, walk out to plank. It could also be on your forearms. Your knees could be down. Two more breaths. And then lower your knees. Lower all the way down to your mat. Take your hands by your low ribs with your elbows, with your wrists underneath your elbows. Pull your chest forward. Come up to a little cobra. Exhale, lower. Again, inhale, maybe a little bit higher. Exhale, lower. One more inhale. Cobra, low or high. Exhale, down dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then come to your knees, come to a seat. Grab the block if you have it and come lie down on your back. We're going to do a bridge pose. You do a regular bridge pose or you could do a supported bridge, either with your sacrum on the lowest, the middle, or even the highest. I'm going to choose the middle. So lift your seat up. Place the block on your sacrum, not your low back. You want to feel supportive here. It should feel good. With your feet about hip distance apart. If you do not have the block, you could do the same thing, pressing into your feet, holding onto the edges of your mat or clasping your hands underneath you. Gently drawing your shoulders underneath you so that you're really opening up through the front body without forcing it. Lots of space around your neck. Taking those slow and steady breaths that we started with. Lengthening your spine here. Those sitting bones go towards the backs of your knees. And then if you're on the block, inhale, lift up a little bit away from the block, slide the block out. And then everyone come down nice and slow. Maybe slower than you want to. Really lengthening the spine down. Good. Bring the soles of the feet to the mat together in a butterfly shape. And if you have blocks, you can place them underneath your knees here. If it's too much to have your hips open like this, you can take your feet as wide as the mat and knock your knees in towards one another instead. So either opening or keeping your hips closed. Feeling the natural curves of your back. And gentle pulling up and in through your belly. And you can rest your hands on your legs, especially if your legs are in butterfly, or on your heart and your abdomen. Perhaps coming back to your intention or your affirmation. I am enough. I have enough. I do enough. If your legs are in Supta Baddha Konasana, the butterfly, take your hands to the outsides of your legs. Close your legs. Hug your knees into your chest. Rocking around, maybe side to side or forward and back. And drop your knees over to the left. You can goal post your arms here and look over your right shoulder. Just coming into a spine twist. Twists are really good for your spine. Good for your internal organs, giving them a little massage. And use your belly, your core muscles to come back to center and switch. Your knees go to the right. Maybe you're looking over your left shoulder. Relaxing the muscles around your face. Your shoulders, your neck. And inhale, come back to center. Give your knees a squeeze. Take any final posture. You could take a happy baby. Lengthening your spine on the mat. Maybe bending and straightening through each leg. You can hold on behind your thighs. You take a figure four stretch instead, or reach your legs straight up. Find what you need to complete your practice. Feeling your beautiful posture. And when you're ready, come to Shavasana, just for a moment, being careful of your block on your mat. Maybe lifting your shoulders up to your ears and then reaching them away from you, wiggling your head from side to side, letting your body get heavy. You could stay here as long as you need. I recommend 5 minutes. But if you're ready to come back to your physical body, invite small movement into your hands and your feet. Maybe reaching your arms over your head, like you're first waking up in the morning. And then roll to one side. And gently press yourself up to a seat. Finding a comfortable seat. I'm sitting Sukhasana cross-legged, but you can sit on your shins or extend your legs. You can sit up on a cushion or your block. Feel your sitting bones press down. Feel that lift up through your spine. With eyes soft or closed. How do you feel? Do you notice a difference in your body from your practice? Yoga is a practice and it takes time, and every day is different. See if you can notice the subtle changes, and if not, just accept that and see if you notice the next time. And take your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Leave me a note in the comments, subscribe if you haven't, give me a thumbs up, and I hope to see you for the next class.